The NHL is terrified of this. Double trouble in New Jersey. Triple trouble soon? I'm just joking. Sort of. Welcome in to Devil's Digest. Feel free to hit the subscribe button. Devils, look, we have some injuries. You need players to step up. One of those young players doing it in a huge way. Luke Hughes, 3 assists night to night in Chicago. Look, you look at Luke Hughes' body of work this season. Remember the start of the season? Points weren't really there. Didn't score his first goal until December 6th. Those were eventually going to come. Too skilled of an offensive player, drafted high. Both of his brothers are good. You knew eventually it would come back. He scored 40-something points, I think at 48, maybe 47, last season. You knew the offense was going to come eventually. The big thing with Luke Hughes here is his defensive game got much better than it was his first season. The underlying numbers would support it. The Devils' defense would support it. The Devils' goaltending would support it. They got to become a much better defensive team, and you saw Luke Hughes develop, get a little bit better defensively. I mean, we saw it with Quinn a little while ago. Quinn Hughes came into the league, not a great defensive defenseman. Now probably Vancouver's best. Luke Hughes, so far this season, has had a great developmental year. And let me bring that back up on the screen. The points this month. It says 10. ESPN isn't fully updated yet. He's got 13 points this month. He had 8 in the 2 months prior. He's already scored more points this month than he did the 2 months prior. He's got 16 in his last 15 games. So the points are now coming. Like I said, when you have a skilled offensive player, it's just a matter of time until the points will start to come on the board. And that's what we're seeing with Luke Hughes. Great defensively early on, getting better defensively, and now the offense is coming. Take care of your own end. You'll start to see the points come on the board when you're a skilled player like Luke Hughes. He's becoming that complete number one defenseman New Jersey drafted him to be. And you look at the timing of this. Because you go ahead and you look at the Devils lineup with no Siegenthaler, with no Dougie Hamilton. They don't really have, or didn't have, a number one defenseman. Brett Pesce is as good as anyone defensively. Offense probably not there to be a number one defenseman. Kovacevic has had struggles. He's been good at other times. I understand the comments made after the other night's game. He's been a good player for the Devils. Maybe dropped off a little bit in the second half of the season, but they didn't trade up much, and he plays a role where he's more than capable of doing. Brenden Dillon kind of on the back end. Nemec still kind of, learning. Luke Hughes has came in here, and he's been able to provide that number one offense for a defenseman. He's been able to be that number one defenseman. He's been able to play 24 minutes a night. When you don't have your top number one offensive defenseman, number one defensive defenseman out there, you need someone else to step up. And that you probably are going to look to the guy with upside, the guy you drafted 4th overall. And Luke Hughes just came in, and he's done that for New Jersey. Going down the stretch, this Devils team is going to need more of it. They're going to need those top players to be the top players. They're not going to get the same type of chances as they did when they had Jack Hughes and Dougie Hamilton in the lineup. We have to come to terms with that. So when you're not going to get those type of chances, you need your top players to be your top players. You need your power play to succeed. Luke Hughes looks good on the power play. He looks like he can handle that number one defenseman role on the power play. So when you have these injuries and you have, maybe games aren't going your way, deficiencies in your own defensive zone, goaltending may be struggling in terms of Jacob Markstrom. Looked good tonight. When you have those things happening and you have a young player who you put draft capital into, who you see as the future of the team, for them to step up at that time and see their whole entire game, not just the offense, not just the defense, all of it come together at the right time, it's a great thing for New Jersey. Last year, great offensive defenseman. This year, much better defensively. Offense dropped off a little bit. Yeah, points are coming in. The points are coming in for Luke Hughes. The Devils team is feeding off of it. To be able to get Luke Hughes kind of coming in, molding into that number one defenseman role this early, at this stage, at this time, it's exactly what the Devils need. He's the guy you're looking to on New Jersey. When you look at the defense, he is the guy you're looking to. When they get into the playoffs, it's feeling a lot better as we keep going along. That's the threat on the back end. That's a team that other teams are going to game plan for. Luke Hughes, he is that player. You needed that player when Dougie Hamilton went down because the Devils' defense hasn't created a ton of offense this season. We've talked about that before. Now Luke Hughes has 38 points on the season, 16 in his last 15 games. It's coming together. He's just going to keep getting better and better. He had a beautiful assist tonight, made a few nice plays from the back end in creating offense. With the Devils not probably having that secondary offensive defenseman with Dougie Hamilton out and Luke Hughes being able to come in here and fit a role, it's been phenomenal for New Jersey. Now, other thing I probably want to look at is Luke Hughes is in a contract year. So, what do you do at the end of the season? I think it's very easy. I think you sign him long term, you give him around $8.5 million. I would think that would be around the price point. Maybe it gets that $9 million. But when I think about this, and I think about where the Devils are and what Luke Hughes means to this team, you're going to keep him long term. Okay? You already know you're going to keep him long term. His game got much better and more complete this season. He's 21 years old. When I put all of those things together, I'll bet on the upside he's going to be one of those type of players. I don't want to be in a situation like Edmonton where they signed Evan Bouchard and now they got to give him a big contract because they didn't think that he could be that top maybe player. They didn't know for sure. I would have just gotten him signed up and just, let McDavid and Draisaitl know, here's your point per game defenseman on the power play, 20 goals a season. We look good. I kind of view Luke Hughes in a similar situation. I would go ahead, sign him long term. I'm not looking at a bridge deal. Get him long term because you're not fooling anyone. If you go ahead, sign him to a bridge deal, you're signing him long term. The cap's going up. With the cap going up, players can demand more money. When players have more of a resume, you can demand a little bit more. When you have more stuff to show, you start to lose a little bit of that leverage as a team. And Luke Hughes is continuing to show more and more and more. And I feel like if you do sign that bridge deal, he's going to be making well into the $10 million range. 10, maybe a little bit. I don't know how much more. We'll see how much the cap goes up. But you can go ahead, sign him now. You know you're going to stick with him long term. Go ahead and do it. Go ahead, get him signed. Luke Hughes, phenomenal as of late, has been one of the biggest guys who stepped up for New Jersey since the injuries. Playing him in a role as a number one defenseman, he's exceeded expectations to this point. Great job by Luke Hughes. Great job by the Devils tonight in getting a win. But this video belongs to Luke Hughes. Luke Hughes, absolutely phenomenal as of late. Let me know what you guys think. Give me thoughts. Do you sign him long term? Do you bridge him? Let me know what you guys think. And I'll see you guys real soon. Hopefully hit the subscribe button would make me happy. But I'll see you guys soon. We got definitely more hockey to talk about as we get more toward, I think that's right, more toward the playoffs. So see you guys soon. Hopefully you subscribed, and thanks for tuning in tonight.